Okay, it looks like I am live. All right, good deal, good deal. Hello, good people, and welcome to another, what do I call this? A partial podcast. Still a rookie, but anyway, this is RG the Artist, the host with the most. And happy late Christmas. If I didn't get to tell you earlier, I hope and pray you had a good Christmas. Whether you celebrate it or not, I'm saying Merry Christmas. And yeah, man, I hope everyone had a good day yesterday. Had a good day today. But listen, guys, I'm on the East Coast. It's 2:30 in the morning, and I'm up, and I am fuck, man. I'm so restless right now. I don't know what's going on with me, but maybe I've got it on my mind that I need to do some catch up work. Right? I need to get this research out there to the ones that do not know what is happening, what's going down right now, what the world is in the middle of, and who are the perpetrators and what is their end game. What's the goal here? Um, I don't know. I don't know. I know that what I've learned over the years does not point to something rosy and beautiful. Um, it's almost like I've landed in some weird world where um, evil people are doing horrible things, right, guys? And I'm just I know it's the holidays, right? It's about to be a new year. We all got goals. I'm sure we want to meet, right? Um, but I'm just here to, you know, hopefully give you guys some things that you haven't learned yet, or you haven't put together as far as everything I'm about to read. But like I say, it's late. I'm going to try to get through this quick. I love all of you. Thank you for being here. The ones, the real ones. And who do we have? Jeeps. Hello, hello, hello. Good to see you. Yeah, I'm restless tonight, and I've just got a lot on my mind that I really want um, people to take what I'm going to say seriously because I've put in a lot of time and a lot of research. And yeah, I'm just going to start reading. If I read you to sleep, so be it. But thank you for being here. And so here we go. I'm gonna give you the title. These are study guides that I spent a lot of research hours on, and I've just put them down into a digestible size, I guess you would say, and um, it's going to get a little bit more dense as we go on because I'm adding in other topics as we go. So there's three study guides, but I'm gonna like I say I'm gonna breeze through it, but then I'm gonna leave the links and the all my citations and sources um, in the description box. So yeah, here we go. So this is comprehensive study guide number one. It's titled Convergence of 6G, Biodigital, Nanotech, Biotech, and High Altitude Military Platforms and Future Defense Applications, which basically the science community would say in microgravity environments, right? When we get up around 100 to 120,000 feet. So they say it's super cold up there. That I'm also researching and learn that. So, and that's a whole nother topic. But here we go. So that's the title. So the introduction is the era of technological convergence in defense. Um, the accelerating convergence of 6G wireless systems, biodigital technologies, nanotech, biotech, and high altitude platforms marks a paradigmatic shift. Wow, what a big word. In military capability, infrastructure, and operational philosophy. Right, philosophy. Okay. This study guide provides an in-depth exploration of how these emerging technologies domains intertwine, focusing on contemporary DoD priorities, this current state of research, systemic integration challenges, and forward-looking applications by drawing on guidance from the uploaded, well, this is my document, but it's a DoD document titled 300009P, and integrating recent academic, government, and industry sources that report aims to equip defense professionals, technologists, and policymakers with a comprehensive reference for strategic planning, research, and training. All right, here we go. 6G technology fundamentals and defense use cases. 6G evolution beyond 5G. 6G represents the next generational leap in wireless communications, envisioned to deliver unprecedented data rates, potentially terabits per second. Keep that in mind. Ultra reliable low latency communication, or URLLC, and massive machine typing communication, or little m big MTC, over an increasingly distributed and intelligent network infrastructure. The fundamental objectives are to provide seamless, resilient, and adaptive connectivity across contested and denied environments, supporting emerging use cases such as cognitive autonomy, real-time distributed AI, pervasive sensing, and secure tactical mesh networking. Now, this mesh networking, if you don't know, basically, you know, your M-band or your regular band or LAN, like body area networks or wireless body area networks, are what they're going to be tying all together. Basically, like your smart watches, your smart TVs, your smartphone, your tablet, laptop, smart fridge, washer and dryer, like anything and everything within your BAN band, your body area network, and your wireless body area networks will be succinct in a mesh style, which they've already pretty much got going. But where the 6G comes in, I'm going to jump the gun a little bit here, but where the 6G and the mesh networks and the high altitude military HAPs, they're called high altitude platforms, that's where your satellite feeds, right, in your low Earth orbit, right, are now on military airships the size of 3 football fields, right? Like, they're huge, and they can be up there for months at a time, and they can be either unmanned or manned. If you know anything about old school, like the old world airships and what they were capable of, they had like whole hotels in the sky, right? So these types of tech have been out a long time. They took it underground. They usurped it, right? And they're using it for their benefit. And this is where the new age of AI and quantum computing and all that is going to be literally an internet. And we are the product, basically. And already they are using our bodies to send information through. They can store information in your cellular structure. And we'll get into that more here in a minute. Let me see what's on the live stream here. I'm coming back to chat. RG. Hey, Mr. Super, what's up, man? Good to see you, brother. So yeah, I'm just rambling on about some research I'm doing, and that I was kind of restless, so I just said, "Hey, we'll get it. I'll just jump online and read some of my research here." But anyway, so carrying on, but good to see you, sir. I'm glad you're here. Hope you had a good Christmas, and welcome. All right, so here we go. Where was I? Okay, so the key anticipated advancements include, and not limited to, integration of non-terrestrial networks, right? Those that are in the air, but they're called NTNs for reference there, for an acronym. So seamless connectivity via space, which is, low Earth orbit, basically. Stratospheric, which are HAPS and airships, and aerial assets, and we'll get into more of that here in a minute. Reconfigurable intelligent surfaces, or RIS. So these are metamaterial panels that can dynamically shape, reroute, and amplify electromagnetic signals for efficient spectrum use and jamming resistance. Next is terahertz and millimeter wave bands. And this is expanding available spectrums, or should I say full spectrum, for high capacity multimodal communications, which is both read and write. And this is your human computer interfaces, your brain to computer interfaces that are already out. You can buy them at Walmart, but not the military style, but soon that'll be out as well. Native AI infrastructure is AI-driven RAN, or radio access network, optimization, autonomous spectrum management, and cyber defense at the edge. And we'll go into more of that here in a minute as well. And this is the last one: integrated sensing. Okay. We already have what's called an intra-body network, which I'll talk about later, but integrated sensing and communications, or ISAC, ISAC is your acronym, embedding high precision and pervasive sensing capabilities within the communications substrate, enabling simultaneous data transfer and environmental detection. Okay, moving on. The defense sector views these features as force multipliers for interconnected battle spaces, which are simulation operators, right? When they get switched from between autonomous, if you're on a kill chain list or something like that, or they could have a pilot in a warehouse in Alabama, right? Gun you down with one of his smart helmets, right? Which I hope never happens, but I wish the world wasn't the way it was, but okay. I digress. So integrated multi-domain operations, or MDO, and resilient command and control networks. Very resilient, because unless you got the technology to shoot these things down or get up that high, it's going to be pretty resilient, I would say. All right. Modernization initiatives, such as the DoD's Open 6G Research Hub and the Future G innovation programs, target open, secure, and programmable communication architectures to outpace adversary development. And I've got a lot of links and sources and citations here for y'all to read later on if you would like. I'll leave that in the description at the end here. Okay, moving on. So these are defense use cases: autonomous systems, secure, ultra-reliable remote piloting swarms, and coordination for air, sea, and land unmanned assets. ISR enhancement, which is intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance. Multi-sensor data fusion for intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, like I just said, okay. And targeting via ISAC-enabled networks. Please look into these acronyms that I give you guys, because you're going to want to know what you can do, right? So you're going to want to really dive in deep on some of these things that, may one day help protect your family or friends or neighbors. Oops, sorry. Let me get my tablet here. It fell. Okay, next is combat cloud operations. distributed kill chains, edge analytics, and swarm-based decision superiority. This is their use cases. Like they brag about this, right? But it gets good here in a minute. Okay. Medical and logistics support, ubiquitous battlefield connectivity to support telemedicine, biodigital monitoring, and precision resupply. Oh, and by the way, yeah, DARPA's got a new red blood cell formula that they're going to start giving soldiers to heal their wounds faster. That's crazy. Like they literally have that on the DARPA website. Nuts. Okay, next, hyperconnected soldier, wearable and implantable sensors, biodigital communications, and real-time cognitive feedback loops, because they are connecting the military to the cloud. And they're strapping all these different headwears and eyewears and and of course, if you're in the military, you have to get jabbed on a regular basis. You can't go overseas without getting jabbed 100 times, right? It's for your best. Crazy, man. Okay, here we go. 6G non-terrestrial networks and high-altitude platforms. Non-terrestrial networks, structure and rationale. It says, modern NTNs represent a critical evolution in global communications, extending network reach beyond terrestrial cell towers to the sky and space, low Earth orbit. All right, NTNs incorporate a multi-layered architecture involving LEO and GEOs, which are geosynchronous orbit, balloon airship things, little satellites. Little satellites can be quantum locked up there, but I digress. Okay. HAPs, which are stratospheric airships, balloons, and solar-powered UAVs, which I think, guys, if y'all watch any of those little short, videos that I play about, looking at the stars with a full 4K, full spectrum, low light camera, yeah, those are the UAPs or UAVs. I'm sorry, those are UAVs, and they go so. That's how they zip across the sky so quick. Okay, I hope it didn't. No, it didn't keep me off. Okay, let's see what you got. I remember the Google Glasses premiere. Yeah, yep. Orange Man bad. Okay, that's 15 years ago. I set up the building for the meeting and events. Nice, man. Nice. You're speaking of military, I guess, Mr. Michigander, right? Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna jump back in it, guys. Sorry about that. But yeah, these UAVs are just crazy, uncrewed aerial vehicles, and that's why they can go so fast. People are always like, man, there ain't no way they could go that fast. It would kill somebody, like that kind of argument. I'm like, buddy, bro, there's probably no one in there, right? Like, okay. But anyway, that's they can get pretty damn high though. So, if anything else failed, that's the next layer in the architecture. Anyway, okay, I'm going to come down a little bit more. They're talking about redundancy, persistent surveillance, of course, resilient communications in denied, degraded, and disrupted environments. Sure, that's their excuse. Yes. Must kill, must go overseas and take land, must do that. Like it's going nowhere very fast. And I mean, at this point, guys, I would just I would just hope and pray that locally or outside of these cities that we've still got a good amount of time before we're with Agenda 2021 with making all this land protected land, right? And they're gonna anyway. So the key advantages here, they say, austere enhancement for urban and remote area connectivity. Yeah, we've already got pretty good connectivity, I would say. Okay, airships and platforms, platform types. Lighter than air airships and balloons, right? Endurance measured in months. Large payloads, persistent station keeping. Yes, heavier than air solar UAVs. High maneuverability, solar endurance, or Zephyrs, yeah, rapid deployment. Hybrid platforms and modular payloads. Adaptable multi-mission roles. Communications, wide area sensing. Yeah, surveillance, reconnaissance, yep. Augmentation, PNT augmentation. let me click on this right here. I'm gonna inform you guys what PNT augmentation is. I'm not familiar with this, so I'll click on this link and we shall find out together. Lockheed Martin, damn Lockheed, Okay. Sorry, my tablet's a little slow, you guys. Just like me. Oh, we go hand in hand. Okay. Persistent surveillance systems. It says the future of lighter than air LTA systems, a legacy of mission performance. Yeah. Okay. I do know what these are. Aerostat systems, persistent combat support. Lockheed Martin 74K Aerostat. That would be something if y'all want to look that up. But I will be, we're engineering a better tomorrow. Yeah, I'm sure you are, Lockheed. Okay, let me go back out of this. Sorry, let me get back to where I was. Let's click on this one because that wasn't the right one. Okay, japcc.org. Okay, high altitude platform systems. Alternative supplement or competition to satellites. Oh yeah, they're gonna. Next thing you know, they're gonna be like, yeah, we don't really need these satellites anymore. Let's sweep that under the rug. Just crash them into Point Nemo over there. No biggie. We got balloons now, gliders. Oh wow, that's really cool. Okay. Well, it's just a big long thing saying there are layers. I'm looking for the PNT part though for us to learn about. Development status, apps, options, and relevance for military apps. Oh wow. Damn. Guys. Oh my goodness. Integrated sensor is structure. ISIS was a joint defense advanced research projects agent, DARPA, okay, and U.S. Air Force science and technology program. So they've got an ISIS as well. It's funny how all the branches have some type of like acronym that says ISIS, but I didn't say wow like for no reason, because listen, I don't know if y'all caught the other night when, I finally broke out all the research I had been doing over like the last year. Well, not quite a year, but about 10 months, probably 10 to 11 months. But, that showed this huge balloon, right? This silver, like a couple 100 feet, big, huge, just perfect sphere, but it was like a mirror. Did y'all see that? Did y'all catch that? What I did the other day? Because if you didn't, I just came across another one, but it's a football shape. So why such a reflective surface? Maybe because it is a special type of material, right, that can handle high heat or very low temperatures, maybe. I don't know. But I do know that NASA was down there with you know Judas and Judas and Will Duffy and all them. Yeah, dude, NASA was right next door to them at the same time. What were they doing on the other side of that mountain range? On the Ross ice sheet. The WICE, WAIS, is the West Antarctic ice sheet, right? Well, yeah, I traced it all together and put it together, and it's all weird how that big, huge, like silver mirror ball was in low Earth orbit. So that's kind of weird. But anyway, back to the research. I will be dropping all of this if you guys want me to. I am going to drop it right into the description here in a few minutes. Okay, moving on. So operational characteristics, right? It talks about altitude, endurance, payload mass, latency, maintenance, regulatory flex, or flex, whatever flex means, moderate, low, high. Oh, okay, I see. Okay, recent developments. SoftBank's investment in SCIA, it's SCEYE, and it's by SoftBank. It's an investment they had. Demonstrates the commercial military convergence. Yes, it does, with high altitude platforms already achieving extensive field testing for broadband coverage, disaster recovery, and airspace management integration. I will go as far as to say, when they use that cloth that has negative refraction that can make something disappear when you put it on you, I bet we've had airships in our skies for far, far longer than what we think, than what they're telling us now. What do you guys think? I'll bet they've been up there for decades. I'm willing to bet since the Hindenburg, wasn't that the name of it? Hindenburg? Caught on fire. I'm just saying. Right, I got a lot of links to the videos and stuff like that for you guys on here. Okay, moving on. So now we're looking at the convergence of technology, biodigital system. Let's move on, because I think you guys know a lot about that, right? If not, I'm gonna bust it out. Here we go. The convergence of 6G technology and biodigital systems. Understanding what biodigital convergence means. Bioconvergence is the fusion of digital, biological, nanotechnological, and cognitive sciences, NBIC is acronym, at the at the systemic and organizational levels. In DoD context, this convergence is seen as both a strategic asset and a risk driver in future defense environments, enabling next generation capabilities in human enhancement, AI-driven biosensing, and data analytics, but also introducing profound regulatory, ethical, and dual use concerns. Bullshit. I call bullshit. And let me tell you why. Because when it says right here at the end, dual use concerns, you know why they say that? Because they're making the technology behind closed doors that is going to fuel, technological growth and economic stimulation, right? Right? And then they're making the weapons of war to defend against when these technologies are misused, right? Especially on an ethical and moral level. What do you think they're going to put? Like they're going to put like an age limit for people to, if they're already letting or they're encouraging kids to, if you feel like a kitty cat, you want to lick your paws, here's a kitty litter box. You think they're going to tell those kids like you can't have a brain to, computer interface so you can be like Elon Musk and his fucking robots? Like you think they're going to? Oh boy, I get fired up. But I doubt it. I doubt it. And when these kids get my age and y'all's age, bro, it's going to be. That's when all of this airships and high altitude platforms and all the nasty crazy shit they're doing with AI, merging people. Like, I mean, there's psychologically people are going to be gone. They're going to check out of their own body every day. Oh man, bro. I mean, just the audacity of them to, even for this, like, I had help. Well, I did all this research, right, and put it together and had AI help me write this. And just to say it in that manner, to put like profound regulatory, ethical, and dual use concerns at the very end of all that, it's just man, it just shows where the mind of the neural network of AI is, right? So that's why I'm kind of skimming through this so I don't overstep overstep my next research paper that I'm adding into this. So this says core areas of biodigital systems. Systems. That's kind of hard to say. But anyway, reverse engineering of living systems, right? Genomics, proteomics, proteomics, whatever that is. I've got to look that up. Proteomics, neuroinformatics, organoids, and holistic biometric approaches for warfighter health. That just makes no sense. Warfighter health, performance and threat detection. What is it? What can we do, y'all? Give me some ideas. Like, what can we do to talk to soldiers like that are in the military right now and feel like that's their only way to get a college education, like and learn how to defend the homeland, right? Like what I've thought about that for a while. What can we do? Like what kind of talk could we have with young men and young women and people who think they're cats, right? Or all, like a transgender washing machine, like what I've tried to think about some kind of good like pep talk, because after my injury, like, everyone like started looking at me like, well, you can inspire people, you could do good things for people. And I mean, like I was lost. I was lost, bro. Like, and I really just didn't know where to start, I really didn't. And yeah, so just think about that. If you come up with any cool ideas or, something to appeal to young minds, just let me know. I'll try to write something up. Okay, synergetic biology and biomanufacturing. Production of advanced materials, which I'll talk a little bit more about here in a second. Biohybrid sensors and environmental remediation agents using genomic design and bioreactors. Very interesting. Okay. I'm going to read off the next two, but I'm going to stay on this for a minute. And I'm going to click on a couple of these sources that I haven't looked at yet on each of these. Okay. So here's the third one. Human machine biosymbiosis. So remember, the title of this one is Core Areas of Biodigital Systems. This is what I'm finding out, right? These are things that no one has told me. right? No one forewarned me about this shit, right? That's already here, basically, you know? This is all a shock to me. This is new to me. I mean, not new, like as far, you know what I'm saying, I guess. Okay, here we go. Human machine biosymbiosis, wearables, implantables, BCIs, which are brain computer interfaces, and digital twins for situational awareness, decision augmentation, and persistent health monitoring. They mean consistent and persistent because, believe it or not, guys, chemtrails are not what we thought they were. They're not what we were told they were. And look at all this fog, bro. The past 2 years, have y'all paid attention to all this fog, that heavy, thick ass fog that looks like little spores when you put lights on it? This is inside of everybody. That's smart dust. And I hate to say it like that, but it's like baby powder, bro. It's that fine. Some are not that fine, but are very small. And also, right, metamaterials, okay, photonics. Man, the way this, I think it's going to be, I think there is going to be a big thing when they're talking about all this disclosure, and you know what I mean? Like in aliens and this and that, we know better, but half the world doesn't. And the interface, right? We are the interface. Waves, right? Light and waves. And what our eyes see through what they're going to have, all these headsets and 3D glasses and stuff like that for people to wear, bro. It's going to look so real in the sky. I mean, it's going to be. It's going to be real. You're going to feel the vibration, right? They're going to be able to simulate these things worldwide. Think about Independence Day. You remember that movie when we were growing up with Will Smith? Look how that went down, bro. I think it's going to be something like that, where people that believe the TV and can't trust their own eyes are just going to fall right into it, bro. Headline news everywhere all at once. I mean, I don't want to say that's a guarantee, but I feel like that's like everything is pointing to that. And if they're doing all this and it's all just propaganda and it's all bullshit and they're working us up, bro, like slowly, like you know how they like to play the long game, right? So, I mean, could this all be a sham, guys? Like all this while they create these kind of interfacing, AIs and quantum computing. Do y'all know what quantum computing is? I'll get into that in a second. I know I'm rambling, but fuck, dude, I'm so worried about. I mean, I'm not afraid, but I'm so worried for people, like even my own family. Like, what are I mean, my family's pretty prepared. Like they hear me talk all the time about it, but like, damn, I've got like some cousins and aunts and uncles that don't believe in none of that shit. They're too busy. Okay. The last one is bio-inspired computational and sensing models, okay, using biological data structures, which basically DNA storage, neural patterns, and neural networks, so on and so forth, as models for AI and innovative hardware solutions. Now, I'm going to go back to the first one, which is reverse engineering and living systems. And there's 3 little sources here. I'm going to click on one and work my way down. I'm going to do it quick. I know I'm rambling, so I told myself I wasn't going to be on super long tonight. So I am moving on, and I'm clicking. So this says an introduction to biodigital convergence, which I know. Okay, this is a webinar, convergent standardization. Okay, so this is talking about, okay, and cognitive science. Okay. Let me look here. IT has changed a lot in the last 20 years. Moore's law, absolutely. Jeez. That is just going straight up. Okay, here we go. Don't want to lose y'all, so bear with me. This is okay, so this is just like a presentation and it looks like kind of just heavy, dense information graphs. And but it looks good. It looks really, this is a high quality presentation. So damn, I should do this and just do this one day. Wow. Okay. So yeah, all this is, I'm going to drop this in the description and you guys have a field day with that one. That looks interesting. Okay. Second one. All right. Let me click on this one. Hope you guys are hanging in there with me. If not, you can always come back and watch it, But I am, okay, exploring biodigital convergence. What happens when biology and digital technology merge? Well, you would have a convergence, I would say. Forward. Wow, this is dense too, you guys. Man, these are great. Wow, look at all these links, bro. Man, y'all hit the jackpot with this one. Okay. Okay. Let me go back. Let me click on the third one. I get excited, man. Y'all, you just don't know. See what I do, how I do my research, right? Is I've built an AI. So what I do is I go and I read, right? And I look for very current and then working my way back from the newest to oldest, like the future standards of of like the DoD and like their fiscal budgets and like I just go and look, right, and I just hit the download button, I put it over in my files, and then I just move on. I keep looking, right, and then when I have one of my subjects that I have got together like 10 or 20 documents, right, and downloads and just different things, that tie into the subject matter. And then what I'll do is I'll go and I'll cram them in my AI and I'll tell them to abbreviate, give me the bullet points, give me the most important, relevant parts, right, through the decade or the 5 years that I'm researching or something. And then my AI knows me very well now, right? My digital twin, I guess you could say. And I don't advise anybody to do this, right? Anybody. It just works for me because I'm disabled, like, and I don't have to type everything, and I don't have to, and then I can go back and review it, right, later on if I feel like there's not enough information there, right, but in the middle of it, say I'm looking at the DoD, right, and then I'm looking over at like Space Force in Greenland or something like that. And I want to know, where's the basis? When was it built? What was there before? Like, do they launch this or that? Like, and then I cross-reference through whatever information's there against, the Space Force, like whatever DoD stuff. But I don't only do military. I just really like digging deep and showing people who's really in charge of Congress, and you know what I mean? Like, I buck the system. I don't give a shit. And I get the good stuff out to people, just so they know and know what to do. But and then also remedies, not just give them, my take on it. It's I don't know. It's important to me, I guess, what I'm trying to say. All right, stop yapping. Let me get back over here to it. But yeah, this has got some really good material here, it looks like, for you guys to go and read into. Now, the synthetic biology and biomanufacturing, yeah, I'm gonna let y'all dive into that when you're ready for it. Now, moving on, this is the technical synergies, right? So ultra reliable, low latency 6G transfers enable continuous streaming of biodata, large scale biometric analytics, and cloud integrated digital twins. That's a big word there. And it's very much true, even right now. I mean, I've read enough, looked at enough to know that, uh, I mean, we're integrated. We are 100% integrated into their system. And you can learn about biosensors. You can learn about certain products you can buy. Okay. I'm not a doctor, but I've heard of zeolite, right? And it's a kind of like a micro subatomic gold type of thing where you can basically try to short out the sensors that are in your system. Um, and because there's a lot of heavy metals now that are in agriculture, that are, I mean, in the water systems, in food. I mean, they put that on the box, right? It's like we don't know half of what we're ingesting, or most people don't. Most people don't. I try to be as safe as I can, but I mean, my body's shot anyway, right? Like, but I do know that 6G will be, um, it will use those different types of metamaterials, and they will use light to augment people willingly, or I don't know, maybe I'm on a list and I might get, not approved to get shocked, right? And they do it anyway. Who knows? But I hope that doesn't happen to anybody. Oh, Jesus. All right. So ubiquity. They talk about ubiquitous between these NTNs and high altitude platforms. Remote biosensing, environmental DNA collection, biothreat monitoring in denied and remote areas. Well, why would someone deny you to be on their land? Probably because they don't want to be part of the system, right? But this seems to be pretty invasive. Not invasive, but yeah, invasive. Yeah. Okay. Edge AI and distributed computing, intrinsic to organizing and processing exabyte scale data sets generated by biodigital operations for actionable intelligence. And if you guys don't know about what digital twin really means, digital twins are the landscape, they're sunflower fields, they're airports, they are whole cities, and yeah, and they already are, let's put it that way. So it's not something they're working towards. It's basically hooking up military grade simulations, which you can look into that. It's called TENA, TENA. And yeah, I mean, what they've got going on already, guys, when, a lot of people are like, oh, quantum blocking, or quantum entanglement, and quantum this, quantum that. The word quantum is way overplayed and way over talked about, right? But what they won't tell you is that if you are 180 across this plane, or you are 10,000 miles apart, whatever, when you are in those types of simulations, your digital twin and your holographic makeup, not holographic, but, well, when you go in there, it's kind of holographic, but holography is what copies your exact copy, your digital twin, right? But they try to say, oh, there's lag, but come to find out, it's real time. It don't matter where you are, and it don't matter how many people, are on these, like they were saying, they're going to be able to like get across so much information, exabyte data sets, and they could probably, They could probably put the whole militaries against each other in a simulation, and everyone be brain to computer interfaced, and fly real planes and helicopters and all that, and it would be real time. There would be no lag, right? That's what you call locked. That's locked. It's energy, right? That is connected real time across the world. So waves, 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 waves. All right, here we go. I'm about to end this, guys. I got a little bit more to read, and I'm going to jam through it. Here we go. So the architectures and defense applications, we already did that. MHS, there's a lot here, guys. There is a lot here. Okay, so here's some examples of transformation strategy details, right? The drive toward integrating digital health, they say, AI, and robust data governance, right? Who's going to govern all this? Maybe whoever owns the technology? I don't know. So here we go. Medical intelligence at the edge. So rapid in-theater diagnostics, biosurveillance of infectious threats, which means, in your body, if you have like some type of illness, right? Or say you got a wound and it's infected, right? They can tell that real time. Okay. This is how in-depth it is already. And AI supported triage on the battlefield, biomanufacturing for resilience. So on-demand synthesis of medical and logistical supplies, so fuels, advanced polymers, self-healing materials, which of course are nanotech and biotech. Okay. And they couldn't do that if it wasn't already in the shots, in the vaccinations, in the booster shots, whatever you want to call them, unfortunately. So adaptive camouflage / countermeasures. So living materials or synthetic biointerfaces that dynamically adjust to environment and threat. Whatever, if you take that how you want, but there's a couple of sources here you can look at to reference those. And responsive sensing and remediation, real-time detection of toxins, enabling rapid countermeasure deployment or environmental restoration. And just to say a little bit on that, so the medical, this is the new medical revolution, right? Medical, it's called the medical 4.0 or something like that. Is like the little nickname, I guess you could say. But so they can do what pills do without ever giving you anything. They can use electromagnetic waves to release certain chemicals right away. The doctor gets an alert. Oh no, their blood pressure is up really high. We need to do this or that. You know what I mean? Like it's more for highly specific types of disabilities, maybe, or things they can treat in that manner. But that's available right now, and they're doing it in bigger cities. It hasn't quite reached my area, but they do offer telemedicine, and yeah, I'm ready to go home, so I don't need any other assistance from tech. So this talks about devices. I don't want to bore y'all with that. So recent R&D examples, research and development. This is an acronym, so I'm just going to spell it out. It's AIN-GAN-Scandium, which is SCANDIUM, damn, TERNARY Films. Wow, that's a long one. For ultra low power, non-volatile memory. So this is key to 6G device power optimization. Okay, so this is just talking about the back. Okay, so this is the new stuff. Okay, I hadn't heard of this. So the next one is 2D perovskites. Is the PEROVSKITES. 2D and then that word. I don't want to screw it up. Okay, so this is for advanced optoelectronic and nanoelectronic applications. And this says AFRL collaborations. Okay, I'm gonna click on this source just to read this out because that really piques my interest about the optoelectronic applications. So just bear with me. Oh, it's a paper. Awesome, man. Dude, I love this. I don't love this AI. Oh shit, don't take me the wrong way. You're gonna be like, man, I think he's having a relationship with his AI over there. No, it just really impresses me with this stuff that I don't have to go and look for now. Like, damn. And I mean, these are like really high level papers. So this was Progress and Plans of National Nanotechnology Initiative Agencies. So the NNI agencies. This is December of 19, Department of Defense. Wow, this is 22 pages long, guys. So, wow, okay, photon. Okay, so this is photonics on metamaterials. Embedded quantum dots, heating laser. Yeah, this is what I was talking about a minute ago. Yeah, so all it is these biosensors and light, basically, or with these quantum dots. And when they're hit with light in a certain way, they line up, or like automatically, like snap of a finger, right? When they get the right oscillations or flashing of the lights, then that technology, I guess, goes right to work and knows what to do. And it looks like it's talking about due to the chemical makeup. Okay, photonic quantum information technologies such as computing, communication, and sensing have a critical need for integrated quantum optics platforms. Yep, that's what, man, listen, crazy. A long-standing challenge in developing such platforms is integrating more than one or two solid-state quantum bits, so-called qubits. NRL scientists have developed a technique. Oh, yeah, okay, I see now. Okay, yeah, this is what I heard about earlier. So imagine you are in this military situation and you're taking over one of the autonomous jets or drones, right? And you're just in some warehouse in Alabama, okay? And you got your headset on and you're driving this drone or whatever. And your digital twin is present in the simulation. Well, I'll just go and tell you, the newer simulations that are going to be ran off quantum computing, right? You can be injured in a simulation, but you can also be healed from these types of technologies. That just sounds crazy, right? It sounds nuts, but you are still energetically tied, right? No matter if you're not even anywhere near that, you're still locked. You're still entangled with your own energy, your holographic twin. I keep saying holographic. It sounds like Mazel Tov. All right, here we go. Damn, my eyes are so big. Man, I'm getting old, y'all. I can't see shit anymore. I got to blow this up a little bit bigger. Okay. back where I was at. Yep, by tuning multiple quantum dots into resonance with micro laser processing, which is also called photonics. They demonstrated photon-mediated quantum interactions between multiple dots, a critical test of an integrated quantum optics platform. I'll be damned. All right, I'm going back, guys. I know it's getting late. I got to finish up. I'm getting sleepy. Start talking crazy when I get sleepy. Okay, here we go. On to the next. Nano-enabled structural materials is the next one. It's next-gen armor, heat diffusion, and lightweight platforms for air, space, and sea assets. We already know that one. Now this one is different. Okay, no, bio-inspired nanosystems. So mucil foot proteins for underwater robotics, self-healing coatings, and tissue scaffolds. Holy shit. You guys, I'm so excited. I hope y'all are listening. So listen. I have been designing a plasma motor, right? Yeah, a plasma motor, right? For wheelchairs, okay? But here was one of my ideas, right? I had no idea about this, but you know how, luminescence in nature, bioluminescence, solar luminescence, thermoluminescence, all that. Yeah, so fungi and algae are the most communicative, right? Damn, I need to be over here where I can see y'all's comments. Sorry, guys, I'm slacking. But anyway, so I thought about using that as my oscillating on off, or my I can line the inner part of my motor, right? And this could be to regenerate, where I wouldn't have to always have like a battery to start something with. We could use different on-off switches, just very fast reading on-off switches that could read when to turn on, and something like that. I thought that would be a cool idea to incorporate into the motor. But then it's fully renewable. Yeah, and then to like how you say it, carbon fiber discs, like maybe in diameter, maybe like 48 inches or something like that, 2 of them, but lay out neodymium magnets in the phi ratio, phi golden spiral, and then turn the polarities against each other, and just once it starts and gets up to a certain RPM, then you just let it spin forever, right? Or until the bearings need to be replaced. And that would be really the only thing you need to replace over time. So there's just one of my ideas, I've been working on. But yeah, I'm trying to learn how to grow certain ones, but there's only where I live, only certain ones will grow. But me and AI has been working on that a little bit, here and there. Oh yeah, and with those two, with the two discs, right? With the opposite polarities, 5 golden spirals. So I found out, or I didn't find out, I just was tinkering with ideas. And if you allow the bottom disc to have very sensitive what do you call those things, the bouncy things, springs, very very sensitive springs that come to find out, the spin and the bounce, that little oscillation, right, would be necessary for the free movement. Like nature, you got to let it move. Um, and come to find out, it worked out a big problem I was having with, you know, with the rigidity, right? It was too rigid. With the you got to give it a little bit of wiggle room to do its thing. Jump up and down. Okay, shit. Let me I feel rude, like I'm not looking at y'all's comments, so I am trying to come back to chat now. Where are we at here? There we go. Cool. All right. So yeah, chat's nice and chill. Okay, here we go. I'm going to finish up then. If you have no questions, if you do have any questions, let me know. I'm going to try to keep an eye out, or keep two eyes in. How about that? Okay. Let me get my pad back up. All right. Here we go. I'm going to finish up this long, drawn out talk. I just told myself I wouldn't do it, but I did anyway. Sorry about that. So, nanotech enabled advancements in 6G and defense, graphene nano antennas, bio nanosensors. Okay. Nano batteries, super caps. What? Lighter payload? Man, I need to look into that. Nano batteries. Because I just had an idea earlier that I could really use some very, very, very small batteries. Okay, defense challenges. I don't want to do that. Biotechnology in defense, biomanufacturing, and biohybrid systems. Oh, wow. Oh, man. You guys, oh, crap. This is a lot longer than I thought. All right, so here's what we're going to do because it's 3:36 and I'm acting goofy. So thank you all for being here. I love you. Love you. I love you. Even if you don't know me, I still love you. Okay? It's just my heart. So, yeah. But like I promised, I am going to put in the descriptions box this long but comprehensive study guide. Okay? There is a lot more. There are, I mean, it's probably at least 60 like sources and citations and links and like videos, bro. I went all in on this one. So you guys have fun with it. And if you have any questions at all, one question, two questions, if you have any questions, just let me know. Put them in the comments or description box. No, you can't put it in the description box. That's my job. Okay. Yes, I'm going to crash and go to sleep. And I hope we got at least halfway through it. And yeah, I can come back on tomorrow and finish up. And yeah, man, I hope all of you have a great night. I'm going to finish up with just a short prayer. Father, thank you for keeping people safe this holiday. And Father, we still have some more coming up. So please look after those that are going to be out, those that that may struggle too, Father, that with any type of shortcomings, or addictions or anything like that, Father, just help them to fight that battle and to keep them strong. And Father, thank you for allowing me to have this experience and the life that I have, and for giving me enough time to figure out who your son truly is. And thank you for just blessing me in so many different ways. I don't look at what's happened to me as a disability, Father. Actually, the complete opposite. And just keep me strong and keep those around me strong, and keep us in your word and speaking good things and keeping people's minds at least positive for now, and just help whoever fight that fight the good fight, Father. Thank you for having your son be our savior, and I pray all these things in your son's name, Jesus Christ. Amen. All right, guys. Good night.